Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You've got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, everyone. This is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, Ride on Our Strength, and by Grunt Style. I'm Erin Evernham, sitting along with Ross Wece. Steve Post is out gallivanting on the West Coast, actually visiting one of our sponsors, Sage Fruit. Ross, good to have you in.
Glad to be here. Honored to be filling in Steve's seat this week, and thanks to everybody here at MRN and Wing Nation for having me on.
Yeah, we really threw you to the wolves. Steve's out of town, so not only is it your first time on the show guest host, but it's my first time hosting, so
Erin,
bear with
bless
us.
her heart, Evernham.
Wait, whose voice was that? What?
Postman, he's here. Today on the show, we'll be talking to our Sage Fruit guests, Paul McMahan and Daryn Pittman. First, we'll do our classic ink, screen printing, embroidery hot topics. Hot topic today, we're going to discuss Kyle Larson, and Kyle Larson. How about it? He's won 2 of the first 3 nights of Ohio Speedweek with the All-Stars.
It's been spectacular to see what he can do when he just jumps into a sprint car. It's most guys would have a harder time kind of getting back up to speed, but he jumps in the car and is winning immediately in that Paul Silva 57, and 2 wins already on Speedweek. I got home last night from North Dakota in time to watch the All-Star feature on Speed Shift TV, and a dominant performance from him last night at Wayne County.
Now, how about that Twitter question and answer he had going on the other day? And the World of Outlaws, or one of you, tweeted to him and asked him, when will we see you full-time with the Outlaws? And his response was, before I turn 40. How cool is that?
It's very cool to know that there's guys out there that still have that kind of passion and that interest in running something as grueling as the entire World of Outlaws sprint car schedule. And of course, we had Kyle on our Open Red podcast back last offseason, and he kind of echoed similar sentiments then. Was that he it's going to happen someday, just a matter of when.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, Ross is one of the masterminds behind DirtVision, also co-host of Open Red. Tell us a little bit about, you guys have had a great year so far with DirtVision, and Open Red seems to be getting more and more popular. I see it, your tweets all the time, a lot of response, social media interaction.
Yeah, DirtVision this year, with our effort to live stream every race on the World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series schedule, has been well received, and it has gone great so far. We've been to a lot of racetracks for the first time and have a lot more we're going to be going to for the first time, doing the first ever live streams at some of these facilities. So it's been a great fan response. It's been great response from the teams and the drivers, and a lot of the families of some of these drivers getting to sit at home and watch their guys now go out and run night in and night out. And on the Open Red side of things, that's also been going well. Yeah. We've had a really good run of guests as of late, and once I get done here today, I have to go back to the Outlaws office, and we have to record this week's episode to get that done. But we've got Jason Johnson's wife, Bobby Johnson, joining us on the Open Red this week. So a really, really cool conversation with her that we'll have out later today.
That is really, really cool.
What has been one of your favorite guests that you've had on Open Red so far?
Absolutely, 100%. About a year ago when we had Carl Kinzer on the show, he was. You want to talk about just some great storytelling? That was Carl Kinzer. So. Episode 52, 54, somewhere in there of Open Red, Carl Kinzer. He was an outstanding guy to talk to, and we could probably do 2 or 3 more hour-long shows with him and have it all covered.
Awesome. So Outlaws are getting ready to go. July is a very busy month. Are you getting ready to go on the road?
Yeah, I actually this coming weekend I go out on the road with the World of Outlaws Craftsman Late Model Series for the Firecracker 100 at Lernerville Speedway this weekend, and then I'll be at Kings Royal, and I'll be at a few other sprint car and late model races throughout July. But yeah, the summer months definitely heats up for all of our various series. That's
awesome. They keep you pretty busy. Well, those are our Classic Ink hot topics. Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery. They have great t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, towels, and more. Good for your corporate, other sports, schools, special events. Drivers such as Brian Brown, Donnie Schatz, Danny Dietrich, Danny Lasowski, Brady Bacon all rely on Classic Ink screen printing. www.classicinkusa.com. When we come back, we'll catch up with our first guest, Paul McMahan.
Go
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard filter for $19.99. Extend the life of your vehicle and save money with 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard filter for $19.99. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
This is Terry McCarl, now a guy who's still trying to figure out what's up with that big right rear tire, and a lady who's tried to explain it to him for years. Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
Oh, thank you, Terry McCarl. Oh, gosh.
That now is joining really cool.
Now joining us on the Weld Racing Hotline is our good buddy, Paul McMahan. Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing today?
We're good, very good. You've knocked off 2 wins in a week with the All-Stars. Tell us about life right now. It's pretty good, huh?
Life is good right now. I'm back enjoying racing. I got a good group of guys, and Tom Booth gives me the opportunity to drive his race car, and we're having fun again. So that's the biggest thing, is just having a good time, and our results are showing.
So you get the win at Outlaw Speedway. You get the win at Attica here at the start of Ohio Sprint Week. What is it about you guys in this 13 car right now that things are just rolling so well?
I really don't know. We're just we get along well. We all work together. There's 4 of us, and we all work the same goal, and we all work together on what we think we need to do on every night. And we just keep it simple. And we found something on our race car that's really going really well. I mean, I might have to change my nickname from Pulse of the Wall to Pulse of the Infield Tires, because seems like I'm running the bottom more than I ever have in my life, but it's working, so that we'll just keep doing what we do.
Paul, when you say you found something on the car, obviously you're not going to tell us the secrets, but when you find something like that and your car suddenly is good on the bottom, in the middle, how much confidence does that give you as a driver? Like, how much more fun does it make your night?
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, you got the racetracks we've been at, you got to pound the fence, and if you can be, I feel like Donnie Schott. Running the middle to the bottom when nobody else can, and it's a lot of fun, because you're passing cars and running up front, and not having to try to wear your equipment out, and anytime you can do that, it's a lot of fun.
So you guys are in the middle of the Ohio Sprint Speed Week right now. How do you kind of still with 4 or 5 nights ahead of you here? How do you kind of keep everyone's morale up and keep everyone's mood in check as you go through these last 4 or 5 nights of 9 straight nights of racing?
It's we're running well. So when you're running well, it's easy to keep morale up. We make sure we have a good time. We make sure we have a cold adult beverage after the race, and we always try to figure out what we can do better. And then we head to the hotel, we get a good night's sleep, and we start again tomorrow. When things are going well, it's easy to keep morale up. It's when things aren't going well is the hard times.
Yeah, and so far you've got a first, a third, a fifth, and a seventh. I'd say you're having a great speed week. Tonight you head on to Sharon. Is that a place typically you've had good luck with, somewhere you like?
I've ran well there in the past. I haven't been there in a long time. We ran here once this year and we weren't very good, but it's a new day. It's a new time. We found things on our race cars. It's, anytime you go, any racetrack you go to is always a good time. So, my my mentality is I'm 47 years old. I've done this for 30 some odd years. Every day is a new day and every day is a new chapter. So just go in with a smile on your face and have a good attitude and good things will happen.
You talked about not having run Sharon for a number of years. Of course, you spent several years on the World of Outlaws tour before kind of running more of the All-Star races this year. But is it fun to kind of get back to some of these Ohio tracks and some other tracks that the Outlaws don't go to that you haven't gotten to race at for a number of years?
Yes, it sure is. I mean, places like Wayne County and Waynesfield and Lima. We used to go to Lima a lot with the Outlaws, and then they changed to Brad Doty to back to Attica. But those racetracks are so much fun to race at. I mean, every racetrack on Ohio Speedweek's list is a blast. It's a short track, except for Eldora. Everything's short, action-packed, very close racing, very much just a fan-friendly, a racer-friendly. It's all around an awesome week of racing. It's just it's a little tiring for the guys working on the race cars, and the heat we've had here the last few days is wearing on me. I know that, so I can just imagine what it's doing to everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, you stepped off the road, was it last year, full-time, and now you've got a schedule that's a little bit freer, gives you a little more time with your family. Has that really helped you to have that time to step back and to maybe appreciate or to get out of those slumps when you don't have to race quite as often?
I'm sure it's helped a bunch. To be home with Jan and Kylie and Braden. Right now they're everybody's home for the summer, so being home with them more is fun. I mean, we're a very close-knit family. We do things together. So when I was running the Outlaws, I didn't get to do a whole lot with my family. So now it's time to make up some time with them. And we still don't do a whole lot. My kids are 19 and 23, so they're not wanting to hang out with mom and dad. But we get to see each other a lot more, and that helps me. To see Jan and the kids every day is helping. I got a normal job now, which is something I haven't had in a while, but I really enjoy going to work in the morning and getting off and coming home and spending time at home instead of at time on the road in a hotel room.
Kind of along the same lines of talking about family, how cool is it for you when you do get to win like you did at Attica or at Outlaw, and you get a tweet from your son Braden of him crying because he's so excited to see you in victory lane again?
It's very cool. Braden lives this life with me. He's part of this whole journey with me. I mean, the kid wants to be a race car driver. He wants to do it all, but he can't do it because that's what I'm doing, and so he doesn't have that opportunity to go do it. But he lives my struggles and my success inside himself. When I win, he wins. When I lose, he loses. So he knows what it's been like for the last couple of years of just struggling. So, it was an emotional night for me, and then to and my wife and my whole family, and then he was home by himself. Nobody was home. My wife and Kylie were out in California at my nephew's wedding, and so he was home by himself and didn't have nobody to high five or cheer with. So he just let all his emotions out there at home by himself.
That's awesome. We love to follow all of you along on social media. Paul, thank you so much today. It was great to talk to you as always, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on the show again.
Awesome. Good stuff. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be on the Weld Racing Hotline with Daryn Pittman.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
I'm Greg Wilson. Everyone has a hero. Aaron's is Steve Kinzer, and Steve's is Paul Sides. We obviously know who likes to party more. You're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRM.com.
Thank you, Greg. Oh, geez. Now joining us on the Weld Racing Hotline is Daryn Pittman. Hey, Daryn, how are you?
Good. How are you, Aaron?
Very good. Coming off your 4th win of the season at Nodak Speedway. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, it was really just a good night for us all night. Really, it was maybe one of the smoothest nights we've had all season long, to be honest with you. Just really unloaded fast and qualified well and getting our heat. Felt really didn't go anywhere in the dash, but felt really good there. And then the A-Main was really just a blast. So really good racetrack. Always enjoyed going to Minot. And I thought we were the best car the whole race. Just took me a long time to get by Corey. He ran a really good race, and the line he was running was just making it difficult to get a run on him. But once we got by, I felt really good out front, and were able to seal the deal, which was good. So it was great to get our 4th win. It seems like it's been a little while, and good to, like I said, just get the team's momentum back up and confidence back up a little bit this time of season.
Now you said it was a fun track surface, but it kind of looked quite challenging for you guys too, be it hard to stick the bottom, and then it got kind of choppy around the top. How did you kind of navigate that track surface at Nodak Sunday night to find the spot that worked the best for you?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty demanding. Just the way the curb was, there really wasn't a cushion at all on either on entry, and then basically built up a wall on exit. So you kind of get pretty high on entry, and the next thing you know, you're sort of above it, or if you tried to straddle it, it would really bottom the cars out, and you'd feel the frame rails digging in to the curb. So, yeah, it was pretty tough. I mean, the bottom was pretty quick in 1 and 2. I felt like that was the faster way around for me early in the race. Just because the top was so tricky, it was difficult to keep your front end under control. But definitely pretty physical for as slick as it was. I mean, it was 30 laps of wide open as hard as you could go. I mean, our tack was pretty high. And Justin commented on that after the race on, how many RPMs you're turning. I was like, yeah, I kind of figured it wasn't doing any good. I thought about lifting a few times, and we weren't leading. So I just thought, well, hopefully I went with hard theory, and the tires will catch up eventually.
Yeah, who wants to lift when you're leading? For sure. Who cares what the RPMs are? Worry about that later. Daryn, you got in victory lane with your wife, Mandy, and your 2 little girls. How neat was it to win on Father's Day and have them right there with you to celebrate?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, it's, anytime we're able to win, they're there. It's, a lot of fun. They're, the smiles that I'm looking for the most at the end of the race, just because I know, how much they enjoy it. And my youngest, I had to laugh that she, as soon as we won, I guess she looked at my wife and said, "Daddy won, I get that purple thing." And Mandy didn't know what she was talking about at first. And she loves the Hoosier headband. So that's her thing now, is that she gets that purple thing. So she wanted the Hoosier headband. As soon as we got down to victory lane, it was the first thing she was reaching for. So, and she made me put her name on it, so she got to keep this one, and her sister didn't steal it. And so she's played with it every day since.
How important is it this time of the season, Daryn, as we get ready to go on into July and August and in this month of money, to start building this positive momentum for your team and have the car running as good as it is right now?
Well, I mean, this is, it's a mentally tough sport, and confidence plays a big role in that. So, no doubt that anytime you can get running good and win some races, is definitely a big help, especially this time of the year. We haven't raced a lot this year, so I don't know that anybody's really worn out yet. Doesn't seem like, and everywhere we've gone, I think we've escaped most of the big heat waves. So, it's definitely going to get more challenging as the season goes on and as we start to make up some of these makeup races and the teams get more and more tired. Confidence in winning is the best motivating factor to keep everybody on the same page. So it's big, I think. It's, no guarantees that you're going to continue that, but I'm happy with the direction that our team's been going. Like I said, it's our first win in a month or two, but really I feel like if we look back over our last 5 or 6 races, it's been the most consistent that our car's been all season. So I feel like we've been, in the top 5, minus some problems here and there. We've been, competing for top 3s and top 5s, and that's something that we just were really lacking early in the season. So I'm happy with the direction that we're headed.
Absolutely. Daryn, we spoke with you at Jackson, and I know we've talked to you along the way about the emotions of racing the Outlaw Tour, the grueling schedule. At Jackson, you were a little bit down. You had won a few races, and then you were hitting your stride but struggling, not getting back to victory lane. You find it this weekend. But just talk about how you keep your confidence up with such a grueling schedule, and what are there things that you do to keep up your confidence? Do you go back and watch old videos of winning? Do you just think about the tracks mentally? How do you keep your confidence up?
Yeah, I think watching old videos helps a lot. For sure, I watch definitely quite a few, obviously tracks we're coming up to. I'll try to at least watch highlights of the years previous or races that I've run good at or won at. And I think the biggest thing is just really being able to erase, for me, just being able to erase the last race, whatever happened, good or bad, and show up every day with a fresh mindset that, it's a new day. And no matter how you've been running, good or bad, just have to remind yourself, listen, I haven't forgot how to do this. If we get our car good, I've won here before, or I ran good here before. Let's see what how we are when we unload, and know that, you can get the job done no matter what the, scenario plays out. So I think having a short-term memory is key to, the success. It's easy to just continue to beat yourself down if you're not running well. And so I think being able to just erase your last race if it was just a disaster, and know that it, has no bearing on the current race you're at now, and that just being confident in your own ability and your own team each day that you show up is a big part of it.
The Outlaws head back into Iowa and to Wisconsin this weekend, going to the Farley Speedway Friday night, which is a track the Outlaws haven't been to for a number of years. What's kind of your process as a driver, Daryn, when you're getting ready to run a racetrack, maybe for the first time or for the first time in a while, as you try to get comfortable with that new racetrack?
Yeah, I always love going to new tracks. I always feel like my win percentage at tracks that I've never been to has always been pretty good. So I always look forward to going to new places. I think that what everybody does when you get there is you just try to compare it to somewhere else. You try to compare it size-wise or banking-wise or how fast you think you're going to be going around there. A lot of that's judged by me by, really looking at the infield, trying to, compare the size of an infield to another track and what it, maybe most relates to. So yeah, it's, a lot of things go into it. The dirt's obviously a lot different at every track, but you'll just try to compare it and then go off some notes from there, and obviously watch lines. If it's a unique place that people can run different lines around it, you'll pay attention to, who's doing good or who's doing what, and how they're getting around there. But I think, just we're pretty used to adapting. I mean, even though we return to tracks years after years, the same places, they're never the exact same, no matter how many times we go. So all the drivers are really good at adapting to new places and changing conditions. So looking forward to it. I read that it was obviously something that's newly reconfigured. Not sure what that means exactly yet, but we'll figure out on Friday. And Beaver Dam is one of my favorite racetracks we go to all season, so definitely always looking forward to going there.
Awesome. Well, Daryn, we wish you continued success, and thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Let's step away for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little Sprint Car Hall of Fame and some upcoming calendar.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is open year-round 7 days a week for race fans to celebrate sprint car racing. With over 30 original open-wheel race cars and sprint cars on display, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, movie theme, and the world's largest selection of sprint car merchandise. Visit our online store at sprintcarstuff.com to view all of our sprint car merchandise. Or when in Knoxville, stop by the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville.
O'Reilly.
If your AC is blowing hot air, let O'Reilly Auto Parts help bring back the cool this summer. While you may need to eventually service your AC unit, get immediate relief with Interdynamics Arctic Freeze R134A refrigerant with leak sealer. Buy one, get one free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Casey Kane. Now back to Wing Nation.
Thanks, Casey. Well, welcome back. It is Wing Nation. We're going to talk a little National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. Yesterday would have been Tim Green, Rocky Hodges, and Greg Hodnett's birthday. Saturday, Bob Harkey and Billy Wilkerson. But let's talk about Friday's birthday, Speedy Bill Smith. So Speedy Bill Smith was born in Lincoln, Nebraska. He began racing in the late 40s. At age 22, he started Speedway Motors, which is now a huge industry, one of the Midwest's first speed shop, and he started it with a $300 loan from his wife, Joyce. Such a cool story. Speedy Bill then went on to field cars for decades in NHRA, NASCAR, IMCA, Outlaws, you name it, with drivers such as Tiny Lund, Lloyd Beckman, Jane Opperman, Doug Wolfgang. But sadly, we lost Speedy Bill on May 20th, 2014, a week shy of his 85th birthday. And Ross, I know you mentioned that you had the chance to get to know Speedy a little bit.
But yeah, a number of years ago, and it was a very brief encounter. But in a previous line of work, we happened to be going through Lincoln, Nebraska, and we stopped at his museum and their massive facility there. And
incredible.
Randomly found myself with a group of people just sitting in Speedy Bill's office, just listening to him tell stories. So it was a pretty cool little special memory there to get to say I got to sit and listen to him tell some stories, and what a guy and what an impact he had on racing all across the board.
Yeah, how about that museum?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible. I got to know Speedy pretty well myself. He first wasn't fond of a woman in a race car, but later went on to name me the Queen of Speed, and I take a lot of pride in that. So,
Erin, bless her heart, Evernham.
There's Steve haunting us. So next, upcoming calendar presented by Aggressive Hydraulics. Thursday on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hefner Racing Products, we will talk with Sam Haferty, talking about the upcoming race weekend with Jim Raper Memorial at Skagit Speedway. And Saturday on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV, it is, who is on? Frankie Kerr. Sorry, came to me. Frankie Kerr. So catch Ashley and Steve on Saturday morning on MAV TV. Well, thank you very much, Ross. How was your... I
had fun. Let's do it again some other time. Steve, anytime you want to take off, Steve, I will be glad to come fill in your seat here. This has been quite a fun opportunity. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Well, we've enjoyed having you on. And I'd like to say thank you to Paul McMahan and Daryn Pittman for joining us today. And we really appreciate all you fans for tuning in each and every week to Wing Nation. We look forward to talking to you on Thursday and next Tuesday.
Thanks, everybody.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at MRN.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.